Hello guys and gals, and welcome to another episode of Rune Words. Today we're going to be looking at a very special rune word for barbarians, and honestly can be used by other characters as well. It is called Fury. Fury is a very interesting rune word because it is specifically, almost seemingly, made for barbarians, but because of the massive stats on this, it can actually be used by just about any character who is interested in the massive amounts of open wounds, deadly strike, and even the negative targets defense with ITD. So we're looking at just an amazingly sweet weapon for a lot of characters who are looking for this type of weapon. I mean, I could see using this on a Zeal Paladin. I could see using this on a maybe even a Fury Druid. It's kind of a massive amount of just buku stats that most melee characters would really like. And the level requirement on this is only level 65, which is a little high, but well, actually, you know what? It is pretty high. The rune requirement on this is Ja Gull Eth, which is rather expensive. Ja being one of the more expensive runes in the game, and Gull being what, 2 ists. So you know it's definitely a little difficult to come by this particular weapon. You're also going to want to put it in a nice base, which is most likely going to be a Berserker's Axe, just simply so you get that nice range as well as the nice DPS. Berserker's Axes have like the max range, which I believe is of 3, and most classes are really going to want that 3 range. Alright, so the stats on this particular piece of armor are 209% enhanced damage, which seems kind of like a really arbitrarily odd number, but it is static, and it always gives you 209%. We've got 40% increased attack speed, which is definitely nice to have on a weapon. A lot of the times when you look at these weapons, they don't have any increased attack speed, and it makes you very sad. So 40%, having 40% is a very, very nice thing. We also have ignores target's defense, which is going to basically make it so that attack rating is not factored in when you're attacking most monsters. However, it does not work on boss monsters, so do keep that in mind. So you will actually have to have the amount of attack rating to attack boss monsters. We also have negative 25% target's defense, which is going to be helpful for those boss monsters to help reduce their defense down so that your attack rating can apply more effectively. And then we have 20% bonus to attack rating, which is also going to be very nice because that is going to increase your attack rating a rather large amount. It will literally just take whatever your attack rating is and beef it up by 20%. We have 6% life stolen per hit, which is it's not a lot for a level 65 item, but it's definitely nice to have on the weapon. I'm not going to complain. We have 33% chance of deadly strike, which is a double damage effect, and it will stack with Barbarian's critical strike in a rather awkward way. So basically how it works is the critical strike will roll first, and if the critical strike fails, the deadly strike will roll second, and if the deadly strike succeeds, then you end up with double damage. Essentially, they both roll, and they both try to get double damage, and they cannot both get double damage, but as long as one succeeds, you will end up with that nice double damage. So having a little bit of deadly strike on top of your critical strike is not a bad thing because it will make it more likely your double damage will proc. We also have 66% chance of open wounds, which open wounds is a 8-second bleed that will cause the monster not to regenerate for 8 seconds, and the damage of the bleed is based on the level of your character. So the higher level you are, the more damage the bleed does. We also have +5 to Frenzy, and if you were to wield 2 of these, 1 in each hand, you would have a massive bonus to Frenzy of +10, and Frenzy is an amazing skill that makes you run very fast, attack very fast, and do a massive amount of damage. And as you can see, with Frenzy, I'm at level 29 right now with 550% damage, and if I take it off, I go down to 525%. I also lose 1% off of my attack speed, and I lose a pretty hefty amount off of my run walk, and my attack rating goes down quite a bit. So having this on here, this +5 bar Frenzy, is very useful to a Frenzy Barbarian. But like I talked about earlier, this weapon is actually really, really nice for non-Frenzy Barbarians as well, like maybe a Zeal Paladin. The weapon also has Prevent Monster Heal, which of course is going to be useful in keeping those monsters from being able to regenerate. Prevent Monster Heal does last for 20 minutes and will stack with the effects of open wounds. However, Prevent Monster Heal will not work on Ubers, so do keep that in mind. It is going to give you a pretty massive amount of open wounds and deadly strike, as well as a really decent amount of attack speed, too. Let's go play around with Frenzy for a second, and let's see how Frenzy works. Might as well give myself some shouts. I am a barbarian, after all. And as you can see, I don't run very fast right now, but with a couple hits of my Frenzy weapon, oh lord, I am going much quicker. To the point where I can get around like Sonic the Hedgehog, which is one of the cool things about Frenzy, is that it's a build-up skill. So the faster you build up your attacks, the faster you can attack, and the faster you attack, the more quickly you go until eventually you hit the cap on your particular ability, which is a cap of 45%. And you can stack this with something like Beast, which I actually do have a Beast on my test sorceress. Let's go grab the Beast from her, and we'll stack it together with the Beast from with the Frenzy axe, and we'll have Fanaticism and Frenzy running at the same time. So here's the Beast axe. Let me pop that in there. Having a shared stash is so nice. And let's go back to Mr. Immortal King over here. And let's give him a Beast Axe to go along with his Frenzy, shall we? So now he's got 2 times the attack speed bonus. He's going to have the attack speed bonus from the Fanaticism aura, and he's also going to have the Frenzy bonus, the Frenzy bonus attack speed. He attacks so fast. And he runs so quickly. I'm not even running, by the way. That was walking. I can't even click on things. He's too quick. Ah, there we go. My Frenzy wore off. And I'm amplify damaged. No! You cannot cage me! I am the Master Barbarian. And then it wears off. I always used to have lots of fun running around on my Frenzy Barbarian. They are just absolutely amazing characters to run around on, to get places super duper quick. And that Frenzy bonus, the run walk bonus, the attack speed bonus, the attack rating bonus, the damage bonus, all of it is very nice. And believe it or not, the attack speed actually does transfer to other skills, but not the damage. So if you were to use Frenzy, for instance, in combination with something like Double Swing or Double Throw, you can actually transfer that attack speed bonus over to Double Swing. But the trick to this is that you have to keep Frenzy up, so you have to swap back and forth between Frenzy and your other skill. And as long as you tag something with Frenzy every now and then, you will be able to keep that skill up and keep the bonus attack speed as well as the bonus run walk speed. Unfortunately, the damage bonus does not apply to your other skills, which is really quite sad. It would definitely make for some very interesting Frenzy builds if you could take the Frenzy damage and apply it to another skill. But alas, that is not the case. You can also, of course, use this, like I said, on non-barbarian characters. And it's definitely a very nice weapon because it does a really decent amount of damage. You've got the open wounds, you've got the deadly strike, you've got the ITD, which guarantees your hits, you've got the increased attack speed, and the damage on it isn't exactly awful. And if you are running your maximum axe mastery or your sword mastery or whatever you happen to put this in, because this does go in all melee weapons, you can gain extra damage there and extra critical a strike, which, as you can see, at level 20 you have a 29% chance of critical strike. So you're talking about 29% chance of crit and 33% chance of deadly strike combined together. So you've got a pretty decent chance that your hits are going to at least be doing double damage at some point, which is very, very nice. All in all, I think Fury is a very good weapon, but it is also just very expensive with the jaw and the gull in there, and I think the fact that it has jaw specifically makes it something that people would not want to make right off the bat, because people are more interested in using their jaw runes for an Enigma, or using their jaw runes for a Chains of Honor, or many other pieces of equipment that you might rather have over the Fury. But I mean, if you were specifically making a Fury Barbarian, and you just happen to have an extra jaw rune laying around, then I suppose this could make a very excellent weapon for that purpose. And if you were to use 2 of these, you would get plus 10 to Frenzy, and plus 10 to Frenzy is a lot of bonus points to Frenzy. And then if you were to calculate in other bonuses, like for instance, if you had a Barbarian Torch, that's 13. If you had an Annihilus Charm, that's 14. If you were running a plus 2 helmet like Ariat's Face, that's 15, 16. If you're running a plus 2 amulet, that's 17, 18. You know, and so forth and so on. And you would continually rise up as you got your Frenzy higher and higher to some pretty massive levels. And this could be the weapon that would get you to those massive Frenzy levels, which would get you the bonuses you're looking for. Anyway, as always, I do appreciate you guys and gals watching these videos, and keep watching.